moment for us because we recognize that he was committed to Pakistan, as are we here at this institution. And since it didn't happen then, the truth is that it is here now. And it took a lot of work, and lots of people were involved. I am going to save the most important person for the last, and you'll know why. But I do want to acknowledge two of our very special guests who are here from Pakistan, from Lahore and from Punjab. And I wonder if our colleagues from Pakistan who are delegates are here to make these things possible. And yes, please come. And Nusi, thank you so much for your work. Thank you both for coming and joining us this evening, but also coming all the way from Pakistan to make sure that these pieces could be here. Thank you. As many of you may know, our commitment to Pakistan is long and deep. The first exhibition of art of Gandhara region was in this institution 50 years ago. And there hasn't been another one since. So how wonderful that we could do this again. And it is unlikely that it will happen too soon after this. And part of it has to do with just because the difficulties of moving objects, complications around that, but it also has to do with the fact that there were so many people in Pakistan, in the United States, who wanted to make this happen. And without their help, we would not be here today with this splendid exhibition. Some people say it takes a village to raise a child. This was like it takes a country to get this show here, and that is the truth. I also want to say that in addition to this exhibition, we've had a history of other exhibitions. We have had a history of amazing cultural programs, festivals. At the time of the 50th anniversary of the founding of Pakistan, we did one of the first and only show of the Indus Valley material that also came from Pakistan. So this is something that we're really very proud of. In addition to the arts exhibition, we do policy programs. So we also have done a report on Pakistan 2020, what Pakistan could look like in 2020, what we need to do together. And this is the kind of commitment we make at the Asia Society to make sure that we think about culture, current affairs, and education all together. And that is what makes this institution so unique. And it's a kind of a place that all of you who are UN ambassadors, even if you're not from Asia, you must come and join us, because after all, Asia is now going to be the most important continent, you know that. So we welcome you all. The reality is that I actually shouldn't be standing here because really your official host is Ambassador Haroon.
Here, here.
And what a host he is. But the reality is that I must tell you that he was the village elder who really made this possible. I don't know how many times my colleague Melissa Chu, who's our director of the museum and vice president of Global Arts Program, was on the phone. How many times I was on the phone. How many times we were talking to just figure out how to get this thing here. And at the same time, what an extraordinary host he is, that he not only is hosting you, but he's cooked the food. And he has insisted that in order for you to mill about, we're not going to let you sit down. So you must actually make sure that you meet everybody. And because he's such a party animal, and you know this. So, without further ado, it gives me great pleasure, and it's my great honor to ask Ambassador Haroon to say a few words. Ambassador Haroon.
Thank you. Vishaka, Henrietta. I can't forget Nicholas Platt, if he's here somewhere, who has been not only a friend to Pakistan, and all the organizers and others who are here from various parts, even from the West Coast here tonight. And we've, of course, got Nusi, who is my brother's dearest friend. And between the two, they have got the museums in Pakistan so well worked out that we're not exactly without civilization, but then Mark Lygrant will tell you that. They've left some of it behind. It's great seeing all of you here. I think the thing to understand is why a Gandhara exhibition at the Asia Society. Well, the Asia Society is damned civilized, and that's the only place to have it. The interregnum of civilization in between, I shan't say ended when and restarted when, but that's a part of it. Let me say we're honoring today a great sage, the greatest sage ever known to mankind. A man who was given the most honorable place on the fountain of gods, and who turned around and said, no, I'm not a god. I am human like you. And I wish to tell you and show you how you can gain enlightenment by denial. A very strong ascetic, but at the same time, one who believed in non-violence when non-violence was perhaps not even considered by anyone in the world. And he spread faster than empires, from the Volga to the Indian Ocean, from mid-Europe, North Africa, to the Sea of China. What I want to say about this man's absolutely incredible attitude to life is that it is all within you. It is yours to achieve and yours to deny. And that today is a message which goes all over the world, in which you can decide for yourself. All that's bad is because you have decided, so all that's good is what you can do about it. There's nothing which is going to defeat you if you don't want it to defeat you. And this great sage created this fabulous wealth of art and culture in his wake. And from Afghanistan to Peshawar, my friend is not here today. He is in Belgium, Habib Puri, who was a perfect epitome of the Gandhara civilization. His mother was born in Peshawar and his father in Rawalpindi. That encapsulated the Gandhara civilization. So I guess we could have had him here if he had been here, and that was a brilliant example of what you see downstairs. I believe that Gandhara flowered even greater than Nalinda. It was an incredible period in history. It was influenced, you can see by the sheer music of the statuary. You can see by what they have. You're only seeing 1/50 of what is available to be seen in Pakistan. And I think amongst some of the pieces there, the sheer beauty and music of the statues as they sway to music which can no longer be heard, how each crease tells a part of history, and how the emaciated Buddha has taken upon himself the absolute aspects of denial. And that is what it's all about. If you don't want, you cannot want, you don't have to fear anything, you don't have to worry about anything. And that is the message of the Buddha. That if you put yourself into that race of more, what is enough? What is value? I mean, today when you see the world cruising into the billions, and we talk of trillions, and bailouts are in the trillions now. And, well, here was a man who had one leaf per day and never regretted getting up a kingdom which spawned over greater empires ever than before. So there is a lesson to be learned. I think he has left behind a message. And ahimsa, which was, ahimsa, I beg your pardon, which was basically non-violence, is something this world can learn so much about. And it's not just there that it ends. Today we speak of Quetzalcoatl's revenge in 2012 in December. Well, the wheel of Dharma of the Buddha, after 2,600 years, is also coming to an end. And that is when things are meant to change permanently. So there's so much more. I have my dear friend here, Aftab Seth from India and Tola, who some of you might know, a very distinguished couple who served in the Foreign Service in Pakistan, and I have, of course, last but not least, the President of the General Assembly, Mr. Nasser, who I am going to invite in the end to say a few words to you on this. I'm so glad we could bring this to you from Pakistan. As Vishaka says, it may not happen again, but these females, Vishaka and Melissa, if the ring don't take their call, it becomes impossible after that. But they have done such a magnificent job. I think we're very proud of them, and they have worked very hard for this. So all of you who've enjoyed today, have all of us here have enjoyed it as much with you. We are all an inseparable civilization, and whatever may be or may not be, believe me, as Mark would say, there's a dash lot of decent folks in Pakistan. Would you say so, Mark? And I hope many of them are here today, joining us. A lot of our community is here as well. And it's lovely to have all of you here. And because Mr. Ban is not coming tonight, he's coming tomorrow now. So I can't say he's yet to come. I have to say he's not coming. I'm sure he will come and see this because he will enjoy this thoroughly. So to round it off, may I ask the President of the General Assembly, elect for another 2-3 days and then on, Nasser to come and say a few words to welcome all of you, and then let's enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you all for being here today.
Good evening, Ambassador Harun. Thank you very much for inviting us and organizing such an important exhibition. No doubt he took me on a tour to see all the precious pieces, and this is from also a great civilization and great culture. So we are delighted to be here with you, Ambassador, and to be in this great venue. And no doubt this is a great contribution from you to show all of us what's all about. And I think this is an important work because the international society is this kind of important antiquity, and we are so happy to be here and share this nice moment with you. And once again, wish you good luck. Thank you very much.
We're very pleased to also have the Deputy Secretary General here, and welcome to all those who've come later. I haven't been able to see everyone. Melissa will do the roundup thank you, as she has emaciated herself to be part of the show. Would you please come up and speak to the audience?
I'm not quite sure how to take that, Ambassador. But I thank you for that introduction. In fact, I think it's a bit of a hard call to speak after three such wonderful speakers. You've all really conveyed some of the efforts that we at Asian Society have made to present this exhibition. It's been a remarkable journey, I have to say. It's probably one of the most challenging exhibitions we've ever done here, at least in my time of 10 years at Asian Society. But it's also been one of the most remarkable for many reasons, and also most rewarding. Here we had a process that lasted 2 years, but it was really the last 6 months, since January, that we worked together with many in Pakistan. In fact, that is one of the extraordinary things about the show, that it was really individuals in Pakistan and here in the United States that worked so hard to bring this exhibition to fruition. It was really people to people. And I always joke that Ambassador Harun is the only ambassador I have on speed dial. I think we spoke every 2 days since January on this exhibition, and I know that he called in many favors, made many calls on our behalf to make sure that the artworks came here to New York. And really, thank you. Please acknowledge. You've all had a chance to see just why we were so persistent. The exhibition is so beautiful, but it also represents new scholarship in that we haven't had a Gandharan exhibition before, and when people think of Gandharan art, they always used to think of it as a Greco-Roman tradition. But now within the exhibition, we're also able to make an argument that it is much about the West as the East. And you saw some Mathura or Indian pieces that make that kind of argument that Gandhara is a unique art form that was truly a crossroads culture. We like to think of ourselves today as being very cosmopolitan and global. But actually, Gandharan art was just as global and cosmopolitan. It was on the Silk Road, and ideas, religion, and materials travelled. And they travelled through Gandhara. And so we were able to appreciate this great cultural legacy that Pakistan has in country through the Lahore and Karachi museums. And many journalists have asked me, what's going on in Pakistan? Do they even have museums? Yes, imagine that. And so this exhibition really proves that the cultural heritage in Pakistan is well preserved, well cared for, and is very much, it makes an argument for the idea that Pakistan historically was a place of great tolerance and learning. So we hope that this is the message that we send to Americans through our institution's presentation here in the United States. I mentioned before that there were many others who had really contributed to making this exhibition happen. I want to take a few moments to acknowledge them. I've already acknowledged Ambassador Harun. I would also like to acknowledge Nusi Jamil, who, she's disappeared now, but Nusi was key.
Nusi's right there.
There you are. Nusi, thank you, please. Nusi was really key to bringing together the loan negotiations in Lahore. And without her, this exhibition would not have happened. There are others, and I want to acknowledge Hamid Harun as well. Ambassador Harun's brother, who made many a call to Islamabad and other places in Karachi. And of course, Mune and Zila Mashakala.
Yeah.
Here. Please step forward. Both of them have been instrumental in so many other ways. And from the very, very beginning of this exhibition, they were supportive. They thought it was a great idea and really pushed us forward, helped us enormously. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you for doing this. Marina and Shaukat Farid, where are you? Shaukat, where are you?
Shaukat is here. Marina is at
Shaukat,
home.
yes. There you are. Well, these two, this couple were a tour de force. In so many, many ways they helped us. They helped us connect to you as a community, and they helped us in Pakistan. And not only that, but they were also instrumental in helping us to present our Hanging Fire Contemporary Art from Pakistan exhibition many years ago, 3 years ago now. So thank you to both of you. And finally, I want to acknowledge Vahid Hamid, our trustee, who was very, very helpful in helping us as an institution focus on this. You would have noticed a number of funders acknowledged downstairs, so I just take the time to ask you to recognize them, because they helped us, of course, to present the exhibition here in New York. And that's really all I had to say. I really wanted to acknowledge those who had really helped to make this happen, because I do think it makes a difference to people's understanding of Pakistan here in this country. And it's important that it has been, we've had an occasion to celebrate it this very week, because in a way 9/11 changed everything for the world, for the United States and for Pakistan. And I think that this sends the right kind of message about the relationship today. So thank you very much. Enjoy.
the truth is there's nothing more to be said. It's time to eat, so please enjoy. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.